Hey guys, Anna Masker here from Profit Point Consulting. This week's video or this week's Profit Point is all about getting better answers by adding dimension to your data. And so what I mean by that, so let me backtrack. What Profit Points are, these are weekly video series that we're rolling out from Profit Point Consulting. Little videos with big ideas, maybe 5 minutes, giving you some quick hit information that you can use in your business every single day. You don't need to be a finance whiz to do this. We are helping you self-serve in many cases, but also sharing with you some common themes that we hear from our clients on a day-to-day basis, or answers that we try to provide our clients too. So we're providing those to you now. So, a lot of times business owners, as they grow, they try to figure out like what product line is making the most money for them, what customers are making the most money. And, it's all about how you structure your data. And so if you want better information, you want to add dimensions to your data. And I'll talk about some of the QuickBooks functions that you can use to add dimensions to your data. And, a lot of people think, accounting is boring, it's overhead, it's just a necessity that we need to have in order to file our taxes. But there is so much information in your financial data that if you were able just to tease that out, you can make some seriously good decisions in your business. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of those things that you can use if you're using QuickBooks, or if you're using a comparable system, there's probably comparable functionality in those systems as well. So just take it for what it's worth. I'm a big proponent of teasing as much information out of your accounting data as possible. And I use the analogy often of your accounting system can be set up like a prism. So if you take a white light and you shine it through a piece of glass, you get white light on the other end. But if you take that white light and you shine it through a prism, you get a rainbow of colors on the outside. So it breaks up that white light and brings it into multiple colors. You can structure your accounting system exactly the same way. So the data that goes in gives you a rainbow of information on the back end. That's a poor analogy, I know. But anyway, so we kind of get a little giddy about that because that's what we love to do. But I'll show you some of the things that you can do within QuickBooks in order to tease out that data. Okay? So there are some functions within QuickBooks. And this actually goes across all systems. The thing I want to make clear is you can do all of these functions or add all this dimension, but you really, really, really want to think about the structure before you start implementing. And so, so the first thing we like to do is look at the structure of your customer hierarchy. And that means that if you have a customer and you sell multiple jobs to that customer, how you structure that customer hierarchy allows you to do a lot of different cuts at your sales data primarily. But also within QuickBooks, you can look at customer profitability, the way you structure your customer hierarchy. So pay attention to how you have your hierarchy for your customers structured and make sure that it makes sense and that you can get the consolidations that you want. The second thing in QuickBooks, there's a function called class tracking. And class tracking adds another dimension to your data more than just revenue and expenses. It can classify things like division or region or product line. But you have to figure, so when you use class tracking, my one caveat is think about what you want to track now and later. Because you only use it for one type of tracking, whether that's division or product line or region or some other classification that you want to roll up your business and look at a P&L by a certain type. The third dimension you can use, if you strategically use items within QuickBooks, you can tease out a tremendous amount of data without using your sub-accounts in QuickBooks to, meaning making your P&L really, really long to get this data. You can use it. You can use the function of items within QuickBooks, and I like to say those items are like the behind-the-scenes plumbing to get data into various buckets. So, I know that's not really great explanation. Again, I only have 5 minutes, but I would just say you can Google items in QuickBooks and figure out how that may work for your business. So if you have inventory, that's a natural use of items where you record the sales in one area and the cost of goods in another. However, in service-based businesses, you can get very creative on how you use items to pull out a lot of data in your business. So that's another way you can use it. QuickBooks has the availability to look at revenue by sales rep. And a lot of people don't use that. So if you're trying to track revenue by your sales rep, you can do that. Alternatively, you can use that sales rep field for something else. If you don't necessarily have a number of sales reps, you can use it for various things that you want to classify your sales by. And the last thing is using custom fields. Within QuickBooks, and I'm talking about every level of QuickBooks, whether it's Pro, Premier, Enterprise, you can use custom fields in order to track certain different levels of detail. Those are pretty restricted in the lower QuickBooks software programs, as far as like, you can't really pull a P&L by, using a custom field as a filter. However, custom fields are really good when you're trying to track revenue for a certain slice of data, say maybe by industry. We've used that for some of our clients in the past. So those are 5 dimensions that you can add to your data to tease out a ton of information. Again, I would just caution you that each one of these has its own pluses and minuses. Each one of these needs some real serious thought about how you're going to use it, because what you want to make sure you do is set it up not only for your business now, but you want to set it up so that that solution or whatever you implemented is scalable, so you don't have to redo it when your business model changes or your business changes or you grow 2 or 3 times the size. So if you need help with setting up the dimensions for your data, feel free to call us. Here's my contact information. Reach out if you have any questions regarding adding those dimensions to your data. You will not be sorry. It is so powerful when you get your data working for you. You can make such great business decisions and have so much more leverage in making pricing decisions and making, product line selections, etc. The possibilities are endless. So do think about it long term before you start charging ahead, but I would definitely think about using dimensions in your data. So that's this week's Profit Point. Stay tuned for next week's. See you soon.